Jordan. A spectacular move.
Be clever.
Bring it home, Kobe, baby. Oh, he came up behind him like a librarian. He never heard him.
That might be one of the craziest knockouts I've ever seen.
G'day guys, welcome back to the Casual Fan Experience. Just myself and Luke here today. How are you, mate?
Yeah, not bad. I'm pretty keen for an elite team tonight. So it will be the very highest level of basketball content today.
Absolutely,
So yeah, lock in.
the big two, as they call us,
100%.
or as we've started calling ourselves.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Look, just going to do a little finals preview with it just around the corner, which is exciting. Best time of the year and worst time of the year because the end of the season is nearing and we lose a lot of basketball content.
Man,
but-
what have you done for the last 5 days?
Yeah,
I
nothing.
don't know what to do. I've been tapping into that WNBA, man, and the drama going on there is actually pretty crazy.
Bro,
And it's
yeah,
just like some of the
Bro,
discourse that's
I've
going
just
on
been
with
like-
no actual basketball is crazy.
I've just been getting jobs done around the house that probably should have got done 4 or 5 months ago. Like, that's
Actually
all, man.
being useful.
Yeah, being present with my family and stuff, you know. But,
Oh yeah, kids actually reminded they have a dad.
Yeah. Dad, why aren't we watching basketball today? Because there's none on. Shut up.
Don't remind me.
Yeah. No, man. So yeah, just wanted let's have a little preview. What are our thoughts? What are our expectations? And then we'll go through some stuff, I guess.
Yeah. Honestly, I wouldn't mind starting just with the Celtics in
Yeah.
Hull because the Celtics, they're just so interesting to me because firstly, I hate them. I cannot stand them. Like I don't even have a dislike towards any of their players that much, but I just do not like the Celtics. I don't really know why. I can't put my finger on it. They're just annoying because maybe it's because they're so good. But you look at their regular season, they won, I think, 64 games. Like they
Yeah.
absolutely dominated. They have 14 games above the 2 seed. Like that shit we just do not normally see. And they were so good that I feel like we may potentially be overthinking these, like these finals a little bit. Like they have been like absolutely incredible. Like they obviously only 2 losses in the playoffs, and people were still trying to clown them for beating on injured teams.
For those losses.
Bro,
yeah.
they beat them up. They lost 2 games, like the whole
Yeah.
playoffs. They swept the conference finals. Like I don't really know what more you wanted them to do in those playoffs. So
Yeah, exactly.
I
Because
think
they can only play who's in front of them, right? And so
yeah, exactly right. And they did that.
They did
easily.
exactly what they were supposed to do, and they won easily.
Yeah, and like you just look at the way their team's made up. Like they had the best offense of all time this year,
Yeah.
which is that's
Insane.
genuinely ridiculous. Plus a top 5 defense. Plus also not really being super healthy this year. Like Porzingis was out for plenty of the year. Like I mean that was probably their only major injury, but he's a pretty important piece.
Yeah.
So it's like one of those things. It'll be interesting seeing Porzingis coming back after not playing his playoffs. I think that'll be interesting. I think he may be a bit rusty. But you just look at the Celtics, and they seem to have just about everything. Like, there's no holes.
Yeah.
Like you look at Drew Holiday, you look at Derek White. They're probably 2 of the best defenders to guard Kyrie and Luka.
Yeah.
Obviously, elite wings, JB, JT, and then Porzingis spacing the floor. That's something Dallas hasn't faced yet. They haven't faced a team that can go 5 out like the Celtics.
Yeah.
But after saying all that, sometimes I'm just not convinced at all by the Celtics, man. Like sometimes I just watch them play and they're just jacking up threes. They're jacking up all these like so many outside shots, and sometimes I'm just like, man, like on nights that they don't have it going, they look.
They really do. Yeah, live and die by it. And there are games, as you said, they're just not the shot's not falling, and it just looks like horrendous. And so I think, I mean, it's just like the games that they play best is when Jason Tatum remembers he's like 6'9", 200 pounds.
Yeah.
Like athletic
100%.
and strong, man.
Yeah. When he actually gets aggressive and goes to the rim.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting, man. I think Porzingis coming back will be super important for them. I think he just adds an element to their game that they miss without him. And like Al Horford's a great backup to have. Like he's a very versatile and like does his job and plays the role. But the danger that Porzingis can cause, both defensively and offensively, I think will be a big thing for them.
Yeah.
My biggest thing is it's always so hard to bet against the best player in the series, and like it's comfortably Luka.
Yeah, isn't it?
Like it's not, and I don't think it's as close as people think. Like because people are already saying like, oh, like, I mean, the Jason Tatum hype for people is crazy. Like there's people ready to crown him top 3, top 5. Like he's
I reckon Jason Tatum is the most polarizing like ranked
Yeah,
player. Like you see
that's
some
fair.
people, and he's some people say he's top 3, and I reckon that's
Yeah.
way too high. Some people reckon he's not even close to top 10, and I think that's disrespectful. He's so polarizing.
I would say he's lower end of top 10, but there's probably an argument that he's maybe
Yeah, I agree with
just outside top 10. But there's an argument that Luka was the best player in the world this year. And so that gap alone like is enough to be like, okay, this could be an interesting series, but I still think, as you said, a lot of people might be overthinking it. And just not remembering that, whilst we've seen Boston have troubles in the playoffs before, they really haven't had trouble in these playoffs. Like they said, they lost 2 games, which is going to happen. They've beat up on the teams they should beat up on. Yeah, they haven't faced the fully healthy teams they've gone through, but like there's nothing they can do about that. Like what are they supposed
but I think
to do?
even if they did face a healthy Knicks, I still think they're beating them pretty comfortably. Like
yeah, absolutely.
Even a healthy Sixers, I think like they're beating them pretty comfortably. Like, yeah.
I mean, the Sixers would pose, I think, an interesting one because I think a fully healthy Embiid, like, is just a matchup they can't stop. So, like, I think.
Yeah, but I also think that's a matchup that no one can stop. So,
yeah,
like,
of course. But like that's why I think it causes problems. Because I think like you look at, I mean, they didn't have to face the Knicks, but even if they did face the Knicks, like Jalen Brunson would be getting, as you said, Drew Holiday, Derek White thrown at him. Like they're matchups that they can counter to a degree, but like no one really has to stop for Embiid, and particularly if Porzingis is the guy you're running. I suppose Al Horford run him a fair bit because I don't think Porzingis is the matchup. But regardless, we're here, and what do you think? I guess. What's your keys for Dallas? Because we obviously know with the Celtics, like they're deep and they've got a lot of defenders they can space the floor, and their bench is relatively good. Like they're not, it's not an out of this world bench, but they're solid guys that play their roles, and they're well coached. So if you're Dallas, you're the other side. What's the keys?
For me, I think the biggest key for Dallas is going to be their role players hitting threes. I think that's going to be one of their biggest things because we know what we're getting from Luka. We know what we're getting from Kyrie. He's maybe a little bit more inconsistent, but we know what we're going to get from Kyrie. We know who Kyrie is. But the games where I think the Mavs look unbeatable are the games where you've got PJ Washington hitting 5 threes. You've got Derek Jones Jr. hitting 3 threes. You've got I don't know. Tim Hardaway had a couple games.
Derek Lively not missing a shot for a series.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's what I mean. Like even like Derek Lively, he might be the 3rd most important player on the Mavs for this player. Like he's been amazing, especially for a rookie center. Like
just his energy. His energy is like so big. He comes in and he can genuinely change momentum, not even by doing too much, but just like a dunk, and then he's excited, and like you can see his teammates are excited for him, and I think that's something that can't 100%. Be underestimated.
Him and Gafford are just like a perfect pairing, just like split minutes at center, like 24 each. They're both gonna like play with heaps of energy. Like they're a really good pairing. But I just think it's the Mavs role players are gonna have to be like near perfect to beat Boston.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because Boston's role players are all stars.
Like, yeah, exactly.
That's what like Drew Holiday was an all-star last year. Derek White got heaps of all-star buzz this year. Obviously the 2 JB and JT and Porzingis have all been all-stars before. So it's like that's what I mean. Like Boston role players are all stars. So I think
absolutely.
The Mavs role players need to like near be perfect.
Yeah, exactly. I think.
I just think the way they're going to defend Luka too. I think last series we saw that if you be like, we're not going to double team Luka, we're going to let Luka beat us. He's going to do it.
Yeah, he can. You just got double him.
I think they're going to like blitz him a fair bit. So I think the role players are going to be pretty big because the Celtics will probably live with PJ and Derek Jones Jr. shooting threes.
Absolutely, and
the key whether they hit them or not.
And the key for the Mavs for that thing will be Luka gets blitzed early. It's then up to those big guys to then make the decision. I would expect if that's the scenario, maybe putting like a lot of Luka Kyrie pick and rolls in where Kyrie's the roll man.
Yeah,
because then you're getting the ball into another like elite playmaker's hands and a decision maker.
Yeah,
and it's something they don't run a lot, but I think they could definitely benefit from that and cause a little bit more confusion. Particularly if you can manage to get Kyrie playing one-on-one with anyone that isn't Derek White or Drew Holiday.
Yeah, definitely.
You're almost locking in a bucket. But with that being said, who if the choice was yours, which duo would you rather have? Would you rather have Luka and Kyrie, or would you rather have Tatum?
Oh, I think I'm definitely taking Luca and Kyrie just for the simple fact that Luca is so good. Like
Well,
I would put Kyrie and Jalen Brown on like a pretty similar like level. I guess they're
Yep.
obviously very different players. But they're probably similar level, but the gap between like Luca and JT is pretty big.
I think the defensive side of the ball makes it closer than
Oh
I guess we probably think.
yeah.
But Kyrie, I mean, Kyrie's a magician, bro, and he's like, and he's been
Oh,
there, and he's
isn't
won
he?
it, and he's done it on the big stage before. So I think that
And
experience
he's
is,
hit one of the biggest shots of all time.
yeah,
Like
and his
that's what,
experience
yeah.
is kind of unmatched, and I think that
Mm,
that will play a factor. And I would probably also pick Luca and Kyrie. I think, even just for pure excitement factor, I just enjoy watching them a lot more. But
mm.
as particularly
Yeah.
Kyrie, I've got to,
Well, yeah, I think one of the biggest things is the fact that, like, for example, I think the Mavs obviously have the best player in the series,
yeah,
but you could make the argument that Boston has 2, 3,
maybe
5,
four.
6,
Yeah,
7. Yeah,
yeah,
and yeah, that's what I mean. So
it goes right down.
it's
Yeah,
like they just like have such a complete team that like because I've seen a lot of polls on like Twitter and stuff like that. It's like who do you think's winning, and a lot of it says Mavs, but I
people are
think that's
crazy on
because
Twitter, bro.
that's who everyone's rooting for.
Yeah,
Everyone's
yeah.
rooting for
Everyone's
the
just
Mavs.
going
But
for them. Yeah, and I am going for them as well. But
yeah, yeah.
I
Same.
don't
I'm
like those
100%
chances.
rooting for him. So
Yeah. Okay,
yeah,
so
I think
outside of the four stars, outside of the Luca, the Kyrie, the Tatum, and the Brown, who's the biggest X factor for each team? Do you think?
bro, the biggest X factor is Porzingis, and
Yeah,
I thought you would have a question about who's like X factor for each team, and I think Porzingis is a huge X factor
yeah,
for the Celtics because I think I mentioned it before how like Dallas hasn't really come up against like a proper 5-out spaced
yeah,
team like Boston. Obviously, OKC is a bit like that, but they had Josh Giddey who they just
yeah,
stuck Derek Lively on for a lot of the game, and like he's not a shooter at all.
yeah,
So I think it's going to be interesting to see how much because obviously Porzingis is coming back from injury, so it'll be interesting to
yeah,
see how he looks. But if he can try and make the Mavs pay for leaving a Lively in the paint, leaving Gafford in the paint, if Porzingis can really make them pay for it, I think he could be really really dangerous this year.
yeah,
So I think it's Porzingis for the Celtics.
yeah. Right. So I think Porzingis is a good one. I almost would say that yeah, Porzingis is probably you're probably right. For the Mavs, I actually think it's PJ Washington. I think he's like
Yeah,
like I'm a big PJ Washington fan. Like I really am. Like I really like his game and I like
yeah,
what he
you
does
have
about
been
it.
for a while.
Yeah, I really like him. But I
Yeah,
think his versatility defensively is key. Like how and his effort that he puts in that end. Like if because he'll spend a lot of time obviously on Jason Tatum as he'll split it with Derrick Jones Jr. and
mm,
they'll figure it out and
yeah,
he'll spend some time playing some small ball five probably at times as well. But if he can get going offensively as well as like bringing the effort defensively, then like it could be a whole different game. Like he genuinely I think has the ability
yeah,
to be that third guy, at least from a talent perspective. And if he can put it together, I
yeah,
think it makes him very difficult to beat. Um,
yeah. I really love how PJ's bought into being like one of those like energy guys like
yeah,
on
bro,
that team,
yeah.
which is like so good because like being on a contender now, like obviously it's helped rejuvenate him a bit. But
Well,
yeah, I
winning
love the
winning
way
always
he's
helps.
bought
Yeah,
in. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like being on the Hornets man, is a bit rough, but yeah, I really love what he's done like since being traded. He looks like such a guy that you'd want on like just about
yeah.
any team.
And I think
Like
yeah, he kind of got looked over in Charlotte 'cause obviously he was behind Miles Bridges as well. And
mm,
so and obviously when he wasn't there, like when Miles Bridges wasn't playing, he had was having a pretty good season. But then
mm,
he's moved to a city now where it actually matters, and I think we're seeing like a different side to him because he's winning, right? Like, and he gets to put a lot of effort in on one
yeah.
side on defense and take some of those big matchups. And I think I think he's going to be key for them.
Because yeah, I think when Jason Tatum has it going, because
Yeah,
the Celtics are so complete, they're almost impossible to beat.
yeah,
It's just
exactly.
like
Yeah,
if you can make Jason Tatum struggle, you got a chance. I mean, they still win plenty of games when
yeah.
Tatum does struggle, so it's like it's one of those things. But yeah, PJ is going to be huge, so you're
Oh,
definitely
massive.
right
Yeah,
about
super important. Whose legacy is going to be most effective, whether positive or negatively, with a win, with a
that,
championship?
bro.
Whose legacy?
I might I might be a little bit like biased because I just made a TikTok about it and had a bit obviously I had some comebacks from the boys. But I think that if Luca wins a championship, he's the most accomplished 25-year-old ever. because we look at those. Obviously, come back with me with Jordan and LeBron, and obviously they're like the two. They're the standard,
Yeah,
those
yeah,
two. But I think like neither of them had a championship.
yeah.
They did have MVPs and depoys, but neither of them had a championship at that age. Luka's got more first team All NBAs than they
Mhm.
did. Luka's got. I mean, I wish Luka won the MVP this year. That's who I would have
It would
voted
have
for.
would have super equally,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, would have really like put him above it. But then again, winning a EuroLeague MVP at 16 is something that's like
Yeah,
ridiculous. And obviously they never did, but like that adds on to his accomplishments as
yeah,
well,
yeah.
what he's done in the EuroLeague. So I think Luka's legacy, I think is just absolutely ridiculous because I
It's
think
crazy.
the
He's
coin flip to that is like oh, what if Tatum loses? I feel like that could be like the biggest
yeah,
negative.
yeah.
But then again, still feel like he has a good chance to still get one down the line
The
at
big
some
issue
point.
with Tatum is that like he's still so young, right? But he's been there so many times. Like,
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? Like
hasn't he?
they've
Yeah,
been so close so many times, and so many years we're thinking, oh, this could be the year, and so like every year
yeah,
when they've disappointed, it's been like, oh, look at him, failing in the big moments. My
yeah.
I think for me the biggest legacy, if for a win, will be Drew Holiday. I actually think him
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
getting a second ring, like him getting traded from Milwaukee for Dame, going to the Celtics or making his way to the Celtics and winning a second ring
Yeah.
and being an integral part, because I think also he'll be leaned on so heavily to play defense on both Luka and Kyrie, who both draw fouls pretty well as well. So like, him and Derek White will
He's
have to be an elite at it. And I think
yeah.
he's just going to be so key. Like I really do. I feel like he might get the Luka assignment a bit more. Because
Mm.
I feel like he's probably
He's a
almost a
bit
better
bigger too.
and a bit better straight up defender
Yeah.
than Derek. Derek will chase Kai
Yeah.
around, I think, and then which I think he's
Mm.
better at doing, and Drew will just play Luka a bit more straight up. And I think when Luka goes into the post, your best bet is probably to have him there. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think he'll just be so important, and almost to the point where if he wins another championship, you start talking about him as one of like the better veteran like point guards, going around that sort of just puts himself in winning situations.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. And he's one of those guys, like he'll get timely buckets for you too.
Yeah,
Like
of course.
fourth quarter comes around, he's just so experienced. He knows what to do. He's one of those guys that like is like low key like dark horse for Finals MVP. Like he could get get like an Iggy MVP or like. Because I honestly think there's a good chance that Tatum doesn't win Finals MVP. Maybe not a good, probably not a good chance,
There
but
is
like
a solid
just
chance,
'cause
yeah.
yeah, there's a chance, and like obviously JB just won the Eastern Conference one, so it's like I think the way the Celtics set up, yeah, Drew Holiday is going to be
Well, and
gonna be big.
because like Tatum is so like can have such stinkers. Like he
Yeah,
just
can't he?
sometimes just goes out there and it's just like
His
what is happening?
his bad games are bad. Like,
Yeah, and like
yeah,
if he
and
has two of them,
the only way,
like
yeah,
then it could
yeah,
be
you are
problems.
definitely right.
Could be problems for him.
The only time I've ever seen Tatum play so good was the one time I took his under and he fucking balled out. Against the Pacers, bro. So
It's because he saw it, bro. They see it. They see it.
yeah, if the Celtics want to win, they just got to convince me to take his under.
Yeah. John Tate
Tatum 30
Porter shared the bet with him.
Yeah. Bloody hell.
Right, mate.
But
We'll play a quick little game. I've got one. No, it's very simple.
well, love it.
I'm just going to give you a player from the teams, and then I'll give you another player, and you tell me which one would you rather.
Oh, okay. I like
Simple.
this. I like this.
Right. Josh Green or Peyton Pritchard?
Ooh. I might take Peyton Pritchard. I think I got a fair bit of Peyton Pritchard love. I think obviously Josh Green, the Aussie, I think I've got a bit of bias towards that as well. But man, Peyton Pritchard, when he's given the minutes, he looks so good sometimes. He's one of those random white guards that just like he like damn he nice.
Yeah.
No, but seriously, like in the minutes that he gets, like
Yeah.
he is like a really, really good backup.
That's fair.
And I think Josh Green's still real young, might need to prove a little bit more. But yeah,
Fair enough. Righto, Peyton Pritchard or Daniel Gafford?
Oh, I'm taking Daniel Gafford. Obviously, starting center, he's like probably one of the pieces, like he's the pieces of the Dallas defense. So take Gafford on that one.
Daniel Gafford or Al Horford?
Oh, see, this one's interesting. This is an interesting one. I'm probably going to take Gafford as well. I just think he's been the anchor. He's been like him and Lively have been the anchor for this Dallas
Okay.
defense, which has been like a top 5 defense. So I'll take Gafford.
Rightio. Now it'll get there'll be some that'll get pretty easy. Would you go Daniel Gafford or Drew Holiday?
Drew Holiday. Don't need to explain that
Yeah.
one probably.
Okay. So yeah, no. Drew Holiday or PJ Washington?
Drew Holiday still, I think. Yeah,
Yep.
Drew Holiday.
Drew Holiday, Kyrie Irving.
Kyrie. Yeah, take Kyrie.
Kyrie Irving, Kristaps Porzingis.
I'm still taking Kyrie.
Okay.
Yeah, Kyrie proven.
Kyrie Irving or Derek White?
Oh, still Kyrie. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely still Kyrie.
Kyrie Irving, Jaylen Brown.
See, this one's interesting.
Yeah,
I think
super tough.
obviously
That's super
Jaylen Brown. Yeah, Jaylen Brown's obviously got him beat on defense by. I think Kyrie's actually been really good.
He's been working hard, man.
defensively
Yeah,
this
yeah. Certainly hasn't been bad.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, but obviously Jaylen Brown's just got all the tools for it too.
Yeah, being 6'6" compared to 6'1" or whatever, 6'2", it certainly helps.
Yeah. So I think I think I'm going to take Kyrie just because I think that what he's going to be doing this series is going to be super important. So I think Jaylen Brown maybe is not as relied on just because the Celtics are so complete. So I'll probably go Kyrie.
Okay.
But only just.
Kyrie or Jason Tatum?
I mean, I think you got to take Tatum. I mean,
and
I know.
And then obviously Then obviously the last one is Tatum or Luka.
Yeah, going Luka by a wide margin. I think the people who are arguing.
Did you say a white margin?
Tatum over Luka. A wide margin.
I just said a white margin. I'm like, okay. I mean, I guess.
A white margin is crazy.
Yeah, I was like, okay, yeah, right. Fair enough.
Yeah.
You do
but, but yeah, no, I think Luka and Tatum's not really a conversation at the moment. Luka might be the best in the world, so
yeah, that's fair.
Okay,
so give me 2 things that are going to happen this series. One that you want to happen that might not, and one that you think will happen. Like it can be as weird and wonderful as you want. Do you want to hear mine first?
So
that
I want to hear your first. I want to hear yours first. That's good.
So my one that I think will happen is that I think there'll be multiple overtime game.
Yeah, that's a pretty good call.
I think we'll get at least 2 overtime games. And then the one that I want desperately is I want a Kyrie 50-piece at some point in the finals.
Yeah,
I just want to see the wizard at work. Do you know what I mean? Like just a vintage Kyrie, just like getting buckets, just like just snatching defenders' ankles, just finishing with both hands. But
crazy.
But yeah, bro, that's what
me.
That's what I want, bro. I just want a Kyrie 50-piece more than anything else in the world.
Yeah. That's super interesting because the first thing my mind went to was a Kyrie game winner. I was thinking, man, like Kyrie hits the game winner in the finals, like that'd probably be the thing that I want. I think that'd be awesome. Maybe stomp on the Celtics logo again. Like that'd be pretty cool.
Speaking about a legacy defining moment, imagine another game winner, like another series winner.
Man, that would be ridiculous for the way we talk about Kyrie. Because he's not really an accomplishments guy, but man.
Yeah. And that's the crazy thing about Kyrie. Like everyone just acknowledges he's one of the best in the game. But just like he won
he's like a 4-time All-Star. I think he's probably 6-time All-Star. But I think he's like a 3-time All-NBA, if that, like, you know what I mean? But he's just one of them guys. He's not great. The thing I'll probably say will happen, I think we're gonna have. I think it might be game 1, but I think we have a Porzingis game where he hits like 6 threes. I think the Mavs are gonna. I think the Mavs are gonna dare Porzingis to shoot a little bit. And I think that may not be game 1 because he's a bit rusty, but I think maybe game 2 or 3. I think Porzingis will be an X factor and win him a game by hitting like maybe 5 or 6 threes. Because I think the Mavs are gonna. Yeah, Mavs are gonna dare him to shoot. I think. So because that's probably their best bet to play defense. How they've been playing defense this whole playoff run. So I'll probably say Porzingis for 5 or 6 threes in one of the games. Lock it in.
Yeah, nice. Okay, so then our final thing, prediction and finals MVP.
Yeah, so with the prediction, I've been so torn about it like the whole time because like have what I want to happen, and then I
Yeah,
have
yeah.
what I would probably predict to happen.
Between your heart and your head.
That's what I mean. But yeah, so I think my fuck it, man. My prediction is Mavs in 7,
Oh,
and
look out.
my reasoning is because of we haven't talked about it yet, but I think clutch offense.
Yep.
I just think
I
that
was gonna
the
mention that in my
Celtics
prediction. Yeah.
yeah, I think Celtics have been probably one of the most, like probably one of the worst. I think the numbers say they've been good, but just visually watching,
Yeah.
they've been one of the worst clutch time teams that I've watched. Like the Hawks come back by 30. They
Yeah.
lost that game to the Cavs, I think, which they looked really bad in. JT taking those stupid fadeaways.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say, I think the Mavs, if they keep the game close, I trust them at the end of games. And then if they get to a game 7, man, Kyrie and Luka.
Yeah.
I
Game
don't know,
7,
man.
scary
I think
prospect.
look, man, that's what I'm going to be rooting for. That's going to be my prediction.
Yeah.
I'm saying Mavs in 7.
Okay.
All-time classic finals. So
And I'm assuming that obviously means Luka will win Finals MVP.
yeah. I'm going to go Luka.
I don't think they can win in 7 without Luka winning MVP.
Yeah.
Look, I'm a bit the same. Obviously, I'll be rooting for the Mavs, and if you didn't go on, I probably would have tipped them just to make it interesting. I was also going to their clutch time buckets because, as I said, I think there'll be multiple overtimes, and so obviously their clutch performances will come in handy in those times. But I'm gonna say Celtics in 6. I think I think there'll just be too much for the Mavs role players. Just the depth is crazy, and it's high level depth. It's not like
isn't it, man?
It's not like they've got 9 good rotation pieces. Like they've got 5 genuine guys that have all-star cases. Nearly most would have had all-star cases in a lot of years.
Yeah, 100%.
I think they're gonna be very hard to beat. And my Finals MVP will be Derek White.
Oh, that's huge, bro. JJ Redick would love that, bro. I can imagine JJ Redick just like frosting at the mouth.
Bro, when JJ watches this, he's gonna love it. He's gonna be so pumped.
Oh man, yeah, man. Oh, we'll have to clip it and send it to him.
Yeah, for sure, bro.
But yeah, we'll have LeBron on next episode.
Yeah,
so,
bro, we'll have LeBron and JJ. We'll just actually we'll probably have to break down the plays for them though. Like we'll probably have to just tell them what's going on.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. I'll get the whiteboard out.
Yeah.
Otherwise, that's all we got time for tonight.
100%.
Looking forward to the finals.
Great. Yeah, cannot wait, man. I want basketball to be back already.
Yeah, bro, I'm gonna miss it. Peace out.
Oh,
go Mavs.
See ya.